Hey y'all, it's your girl Slay Jamie back on another tutorial. So I'm making sure that her face is nice and clean and prepped, and I seen that she had a couple of sparse hairs, so I just took a razor and cleaned those up and making sure I get all the excess hair off the skin. And now I'm going in with the Becca Ever Matte Poreless Primer, and I'm priming her eyebrows, and then I'm setting that primer with the No Shine AC Cosmetics powder. I'm going in with my Ulta Beauty brow pencil in the color Brunette, which is my favorite pencil, and Brunette is my most used color out the collection. And I'm just making sure I really work those in her brows, and I'm focusing in more so on the ends of the brows because that's where she has really sparse hairs. And then I'm just lightly going into the front and brushing the excess product through the brows. And I'm making sure they're both even and really arched. Now I'm going in with a mixture of the Colourpop, I believe this was Deep 46, and then I went into a little bit of the P. Louise Rumor Base in the color 3, and that's the combination I used to clean up her brows. And I really love this combination because the Colourpop concealer is matte as well as the P. Louise eye bases, so it's perfect. And I'm just making sure I really go in and blend. The brush that I used to clean up is the 144 Zoeva brush, and then the brush I'm using to pat in the product, it came in the Morphe collection. It was like their winter collection, so it's no number. So to clean up the top of the brows, I'm going in with the P. Louise Rumor Base in number 8, which I love that they added more colors to their collection. This is like flawless. I love using this to clean up the brows because the consistency is so nice and thick that it's just like so easy to work with. It's not too slippery and doesn't slide all over the place, so it's perfect for me. I'm just making sure I really get those brows nice and arched and even on both sides, patting into that product. I want to pat it into the skin because when we go on to foundation, it's gonna mesh well. And then you guys know my handy dandy trick. I go in with my eyelash glue from Duo, and I use that to set the brows instead of a brow gel. So now I'm going into the P. Louise eyeshadow base in the number 0, and I'm making sure I pat that all over the eyes and blend out the edges. And then I'm taking that same brush that I used to put the powder on the brows, and this one is the setting brush from Real Techniques. Now I'm going in to Mood from the Stacey Marie Makeup Artist Carnival palette. And Mood is this really pretty navy blue, and I love the way that it looks. And this brush I'm using is the number 1 brush from the Crayoncase. And then I'm going into the Hype from the Carnival palette from Stacey Marie, and this is emerald green, and I'm just putting that on the ends of that blue that we applied in her crease. Now I'm going into Funky from the same palette, and I'm applying that right in the middle. And I'm just making sure both eyeshadows are blending seamless together, going back and forth, making sure each coincides with one another. Now I'm going in with Keen, which is this pretty yellow. I like this yellow, but I have to say it's not as pigmented as I would really love it to be. I was more so hoping that it would be like the yellow from Juvia's Place Zulu palette. I love that yellow. I just hit pan on that yellow, but wait, no, I don't think I hit pan. Okay, so yeah, I could have definitely used that yellow, but it's okay. It ended up beautiful. And I'm just going in each shade and making sure all those shades are blended to perfection. I wanted to get it as blended as possible. And it's really, really complicated blending neon colors together because they're so pigmented. So yeah, so you'll see me just blending my life away. And all the brushes that I'm using will be listed below in the description bar, so don't worry. I use a lot of brushes, so trying to name them all, it would never work. And I'm just blending. Make sure where there's no harsh edges. And this look definitely does take patience, so you just want to make sure everything is well blended into each other. And we're just blending. And when you see a long pause, I'm usually looking into the mirror just to make sure everything looks nice from up close and at a distance. So I'm taking a Q-tip with some makeup remover just to clean those lids up because I want to cut the crease and I don't want too much blue to be in the eyeshadow base. So going in with that same eyeshadow base, P. Louise in the number 0, and the same brush that I used to clean the brows, which is the Zoeva 144 brush, I'm going in and cutting that crease. And I want to make sure that crease is sharp. You want to make sure that crease is sharp. And just like that. And I'm taking my time with this. I'm making sure I have a steady hand. That's why I got my hand on top of her head. And I have my hand resting on her face, the one I'm using to cut the crease, because you want that precision. You don't want to rush it. You don't want to move too fast. So now I'm going into the Real Techniques. I believe this is their, what brush is this? It'll be listed in below in the description bar. But this brush is from Real Techniques, and I'm patting in that eyeshadow base because you do not want this eyeshadow base to be too wet when you're going in and applying your shadows onto the lid. I'm just making sure it's all nice and blended, making sure the crease is perfect. I'm becoming a perfectionist because I really want my looks to be at its best appearance. So going right back in to the colors that we used for the crease, the Hype, which is the emerald green, I'm going on the outer edges of the corners with, and I'm using a patting motion. I don't want to disrupt the eyeshadow base, so I'm going in with a patting motion and making sure that it's nice and patted and blended. Then for the next shadow, I'm going into this neon green from Eunique Cosmetics. I'm not quite sure the name or if they even have names, but it's the neon green one. And this neon green is so beautiful, guys. Look at it. It does, like, if I was to leave the look like this, I would have been happy. But then I'm going right into that orange shade from the same palette, and this is called Boy Bye from the Stacey Marie palette. Now I did come across an issue. These two shadows were not blending into each other. Like, I literally tried everything to make these two shadows blend into each other, and it was not working. But you'll guys see later how I, fixed it. Then I'm going right back into a mixture of Makeup and Funky from the Stacey Marie palette. And I'm putting this right in between that pink and that green. And I'm making sure I'm just patting that in. And I'm going back and forth with the Real Techniques brush, which is a little more fluffy. And then I'm going into a Morphe brush that will be listed down in the description bar, just to get right up close into that crease. Then I'm going into Make Waves from the same Stacey Marie palette, and I'm adding it between that pink and that green, and just fusing those two colors together kind of started to make a purple, which I was so happy with because it just helped them blend even more. So now I'm going back in and still trying to blend that orange shade and the neon shade together. Still not working, as you guys can see. So I just thought, you know what, let's try just doing a shimmery pigment on top and see if that's gonna help. So I went into Peaches and Creams Cosmetics, their pigment, I believe in the color Freak, and I went and blended that on, and I started to see, okay, yes, it was working. It started to blend out. So I was really, really happy. I did not want this look to fail. It could not fail. So I'm going into my Sephora liquid liner, and I use the brush from the NYX liquid liner because it's much longer and skinnier, which really, really helps me get that perfect wing that I love. So I just use the liner from Sephora, but the NYX brush. So now I'm just going in and making sure those eyeshadows are really nice and blended. And guys, let me know down in the description bar if you guys want to see a detailed liner brush on how to, I said a detailed liner brush, a detailed liner tutorial on how I get that really sharp wing. Let me know down below. So now I'm going right into that P. Louise eyeshadow base in number 8 that we used to clean the top of her brows, and I'm going in with that just to clean up that wing liner, cleaning up any excess fallout we may have had from the eyeshadows with the makeup wipe, measuring the lashes, making sure that it fits her eye. If it doesn't, I'm cutting off the excess. And guys, this is my favorite mascara. This is the Bad Gal Benefit mascara, well, from Benefit. And I love this mascara so much. Also guys, these are my lashes. They haven't been named yet, but they're upcoming and they're going to be released either spring or summertime. Just so tell me what you guys think. And I'm going in just to further blend those lashes. I love it already, guys. So I'm going into that Colourpop 46 concealer, and I'm just cleaning up all of the eyeshadow, and I'm going in the side of the nose, which that's later going to help me for the nose contour. Going into the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. Hydro Grip Primer from Milk. And I'm putting that on the face, making sure it's nice and prepped. Then I'm going into the Oma Beauty foundation in the color Brown Sugar T3N and Brown Sugar T4N for her perfect shade. And I'm mixing those two. As you guys already know, I love this foundation. It's so pretty. If you love a matte foundation, this is the one for you. But it reminds me of Fenty, like that really soft look, but nice and pretty and matte. So now I'm going in with a mixture of the Juvias Place concealer. I don't remember which color this is. And I'm going in with a mixture of the Colourpop Deep 46. And I'm using that to highlight. And I'm really making sure I want this look to be so chiseled and flawless and structured. So I'm going under her cheekbone just to make that contour pop later on. And I'm blending this out with the Fancy and Fabco beauty sponges. As you guys know, I love these sponges. Well, I don't know. I know Instagram knows I love these sponges, but I don't know if YouTube knows yet. But I'm just really lightly and softly, like with the most minimal pressure, blending that out. Then for my contour, I'm going into the Juvia's Place foundation sticks in Kastina. And to deepen it up just a little bit, I went in with a little bit of Suede Mocha from Black Opal. I keep getting Black Opal and Black Radiance mixed up, so Black Opal. Then I'm going into this Real Techniques Instapop cheek brush just to blend everything together. I also use this for the foundation. And I'm just making sure that it's perfect. Going right back in, blending under the eyes, making sure we have no fine lines because we're about to go in with the baking powder. For the baking powder, I'm using a mixture of Sacha Buttercup and AC Cosmetics Butternut Beige for that really nice soft look. And under the contour, I'm doing just the Butternut Beige since it is deeper and I don't want it to be too harsh under the contour. Then on the face, I'm using the MAC Studio Fix and NW45, I believe, just to set her entire face. And to further contour, I'm using that nice brown shade from the Zulu palette from Juvia's Place. And I'm just really warming up the face. And I love this so much. For blush, I'm using the Juvia's Place blush palette, the Saharan blush palette. That's a mouthful. The Saharan blush palette, volume 1. And under the eyes, I'm using the Morphe gel liner to line her waterline. Going in with all the colors that we use for the top half of the eye from the same Stacey Marie palette. I'm just making sure we really blow that out. Going right back into the Peaches and Cream Cosmetics Freak pigment, which is a nice neon sparkly color. And we're going right into the inner corners of her eyes. And then I'm going back in to that NW45 right under the eyes to take away the baking powder. And I'm going into the Bad Gal mascara just to further the bottom lashes. Oh my god. I just got so starstruck. Yes, I'm just further blending everything together, spraying it with the Morphe setting spray, lining her lips with this lip liner I got from the beauty supply store. It's nothing too special about it, and I love it. Oh, yay. Going in with the Epo color from Eunique Cosmetics. You can find them on Instagram. A dope lip company, and I love them for their lips and glitter. And then I'm going in with this butter gloss from NYX. And what was this color? Cotton Candy from the butter gloss from NYX. And I topped it just a little bit with my lip gloss called Deserve It. Going in with the Beautiful Cosmetics highlighter mixed with the Crayoncase highlighter and Rosie Glowlez. I'm just loving this. Oh guys, I'm so sorry if I'm stumbling over my words, but this look came out exactly the way I wanted it. I was so happy. And I'm just blending, making sure everything is perfect. Look at her, she looks bomb. And this is the final look, guys. I was so happy. Like, I was literally jumping out of my skin. You guys are gonna see her in majority of my videos. Her name is Melody, but you guys can call her Mel. And we just we came up with this look. We knew what we wanted to do. We knew how she was gonna pose. Like, it was just a vibe. Like, this look was a vibe. So tell me, guys, what you think about this look in the comments, and I will be seeing you guys later in another tutorial.